So there we go. This is my CRT tester. It's a leader, LCT 910A. Very good bit of kit. It was given to me by a retired TV engineer that used to go out working on sets, and I know he'd looked after it really well. And there again, I don't use it much, but it's been stored in very good conditions. Obviously, you know, you look after your test gear, and it still seems to perform very well. Obviously with that, you get, whether you'll see this, you get a setup chart which lists just about every cathode ray tube, and very importantly, you need that. I don't know whether you'll see that, but in this set we have on that page, it's an MW31-16. So it's an MW3116, and you refer to the chart and it tells you what the heater voltage of the tube is, very importantly, and what the grid 1 voltage is, because you have to set those on the tube tester. And obviously always make sure, you know, you have to bring this up, because obviously it would be very easy to blow the filaments on the tube heater if you put too much voltage through there. So one has to be very careful about doing that. So we'll get the thing plugged in, and obviously this also comes with loads of various, there's a whole host, I haven't got them all here, but whole host of, obviously cathode ray tubes have many different bases, so you need many fittings. I mean, this is the one we're going to need, this big one, for this particular set. And if I can perhaps even fit that on if we turn around and go up a little bit. I don't know how well you'll see that. Can I go up a little bit on that? Yeah, I can. There we go. And then it just basically, obviously, you line the hole up with the hole like so. When we get it right, he says, and that just fits on like that. And then we come back down to this. We have another bit of kit here with a socket like so, and then that just, we turn around again, that just adjoins to this. Don't know if you'll see that, but that just joins in like that, and then we're ready for the action. So I'll get it plugged in and we'll come back. So we're now plugged in and we've got the set to minimum. This is the adjustment for the heater voltage, so that's turned right down to minimum. We've got the heater's voltage set between 5 and 8 volts, but it's very important to have that turned down to the minimum. And then we switch on adjust heater, and you'll see the dial, hopefully you'll see the dial has come up. Well, our 6.3, if I keep just giving that a little bit more, just gently bring the needle up, and there we go. We're now at 6.3 volts, which is what that heater, I don't know whether you'll see that, but if perhaps we put the light out above it, you can probably see that the heater is glowing in the CRT there. Right, then we can go the heater cathode leakage, which looks okay. This is the first time I've done this, by the way. You're seeing this as I do this. I haven't done this previous. Grid 1 leakage, that looks okay. And then we have to set the grid 1 voltage, which should be we do it on this one up here, this red knob. We want it at 45, which it is thereabouts. So we're right now on heater and grid 1 voltage, and this is the next one. Oh no, we've got the grid cutoff set, which there again, that's okay, I think. I can't remember what I do there, but it's ages since I've done this. But set cutoff, but we'll come back to that, or I'll come back to it. The main one is the next one. I'm going to now click and read the emission. So we're now looking in this red where it says bad, white question mark, and green is normal. This is the emission of the tube. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. So basically, I'm hoping you're seeing that if I zoom in a little bit on that, on there. You'll see that the this is giving us a quite a good, it's gone well into the green there on the emission. So hopefully that there will be some life left in the tube, and it's a viable set to try and have a restore on. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's amazing. Normally tubes take some time to come back, but as I say, obviously that's got pretty good emission still. We're trusting this bit of kit, I know, and there again, I haven't used this in some time, so one always has to be very wary. But so there we go, yeah. And that is basically how you will switch off, how you simply and quickly test CRT to see whether it has got emission in it still, and obviously you need a certain amount of emission to get a raster on the screen, and hence a picture on the television itself. So yeah, it certainly looks a worthy cause there of having a go at, definitely. I don't want to keep these videos too long. I'd like this to be quite a short little snappy series. I'm noted for my rambling on about various things, so I'm not this is going to be the end of this one for now. The course of action, and obviously I'll bring you back when I've done that in the next video. Obviously now I'm going to take the chassis out. I'm probably going to leave the tube. I'm not going to touch the tube. I shall probably wipe all this gump off round here, because if we get any EHT eventually, it could arc out on all this sooty nastiness. So, but I'm not going to take the tube out for the moment. That can stop in the chassis. I can remove this chassis and obviously give it a really good clean, and that's the next thing I'm going to do, and have a look underneath, see what the components are. There'll be loads of wax capacitors in there that they'll need changing for sure. But that's the next thing to do, and now get it out and have a good clean, and take it from there. And as I say, I'll bring you back and let you know how it goes. We might not get far with it, as I say, because I think it's going to be quite limited to what parts and capacitors I've got here. I have got quite a few in stock, but I don't carry a lot of electrolytics. So we'll see, yeah, and there we go. Thanks for watching, and please do come back and see how we get on with this television, and see if over this rather sad reflective time in this country, whether we can get a picture on this set and go back to those very halcyon days of early television in this country. When you were really somebody if you had a television in 1951 for sure, and you'd have certainly invited all the neighbours round, although you couldn't do that at the moment, but you would have done in those days, and you would have been, to see it in the aerial go up on the roof, and the television being carried in through the front door was, it was quite something in 1951. Even still, although televisions by that time it was increasing. We had in this area where I live, in 1949 we had Sutton Coldfield transmitter come online, which, although we're still quite a way off, that's obviously just north of Birmingham there, but our village is quite high up on the Nen Valley here, and we could with a H or X aerial, we could get Sutton Coldfield in this village really well with good pictures. Other parts might have needed a bit of a valve amplifier to boost the signal before it even went into the set, but I have an interesting set in the other side of the workshop, which came from a cottage high up in the village, and that is the first set to come into the village in 1949 for the opening of Sutton Coalfield. And obviously it drew a huge crowd. You know, I think there were people sort of queuing up out the door wanting to see this. You know, nobody in this small village had ever seen television up to that point. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's very much like an old lady in the village who told me a wonderful story when she was a girl, and in the late 1920s electricity came to this village here. Say I'm sort of 6 miles east of Northampton, and people used to come into this cottage, the first cottage that had it. People used to come into the cottage just for the novelty factor of switching the lights on and off, because they couldn't believe, you know, this marvellous thing, you know, and that they don't have to light candles or have paraffin lamps or so yeah, there we go. As I say, thanks for watching, and please do subscribe and like, comment if you have one of these televisions and you've had it, you know, managed to restore it yourself. Let me know how you got on. If there's any things I should know or shouldn't know about this set. It looks a pretty straightforward set to me. So yeah, thanks ever so much, and we'll see you very soon with another video. Bye for now.